This is John for the Everyday Fan Sports. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with Ryan Cox, shortstop, trick stop from what I heard of the Savannah Bananas. How are you, Ryan?
Good. How are you, John?
Good, good. Thanks for your time, man. It's my first coverage of the Bananas. I'm dying to get into this, dying to learn about the Bananas. I introduced you as the trick stop because that's what your staffer at the Bananas expressed you as. What exactly does that mean?
So for me, my biggest add to the show is the way that I play shortstop and the tricks that I can do with the baseball while I'm fielding it or trying to make a play. My most famous move, I would say, is like coming in on a slow roller, and I'll kind of transfer it between my legs before I throw it to first. I have a move where like I can kick a ground ball up and catch it with my bare hand. Just trying to add a little bit of flair, but the trick stop name kind of came in as my, persona, as my character. Everyone's trying to, have a part of the show. So with shortstop, the two S's work together to make trick stop. So we're gonna see how it works this year.
No, excuse me. Make no mistake, you're a legit ball player. Yeah, I know you played college ball. I know you played independent league ball. Was it a big transition for you to go from? And I mean no disrespect. I'm not exactly sure. The Bananas play legit baseball.
Yes, sir. So the game is all real baseball. It's very hard to script any baseball. Pitcher has to throw a strike, guy has to make contact with it. You can't exactly, put that ball where you want or do what you want with it. You got to let the game just happen. So as a baseball player, it's really fun to play banana ball because the rules make it one more fun. Two, it's a different way to think about it for me, getting out of college baseball and into professional baseball for a little bit, baseball IQ wise, I felt that I had not all but mastered it, but I was getting pretty close. You spend 20 some years of your life doing anything, you're going to learn the ins and outs. And now, with all these new rules and all the new situations, it's been very fun for me to have a hands on process with, like, as a player, what's the best way that we can go about playing this game? And the one thing that really stood out to me is we have what they call ball four defense. So, if a batter walks in banana ball, it turns into a sprint. So he no longer just gets first base. He can run until everybody on the field touches the ball.
Oh,
So
wow.
that has turned into a pretty close play at second base almost every time, if not still being able to hold the guy to first base. But our ball four defense goes from our catcher, he catches it, ball four, throws it to me at shortstop. I catch it, I flip it to our second baseman, third baseman, first baseman, left field, right field, center field, tag at the bag at second.
Holy cow.
So obviously, when they first put that in, that took some time to figure out spacing and where we needed to be. And um, over the course of the last year or so, it's been really fun to watch the guys around me and us really get it down. So that as a fan now, when you see it, we have it to under 7 seconds before everybody on the field touches the ball.
But now, when you're playing other teams, do they have to do the same thing?
Yes, so our usual show, we play the party animals. So they come with us. For the majority, they play the same rules. Now, when we go play these crossover games, these other professional teams are going to have to learn our rules. And for us, that's a huge advantage because you're playing some really good professional ball players. But the one rule that seems to always get hitters is you can't step out of the batter's box. You watch a Major League Baseball game, you're up in Chicago, and the days where the Cubs were rolling, or whoever it may be. If Javi or Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, they get that pitch, first pitch, they don't like it. You see it every time. Step out, fix the batting gloves, take a look down the third base line, look at the coach. That's 30 seconds. We're in there now. First pitch goes, boom. You step out, it's strike two. You step out again, it's strike three. So now, as a hitter, you have to be able to take that pitch, kind of not let your eyes leave the pitcher because he could get that ball and throw it right back again. We have two pitchers that are really good, Christian Dearman and Kyle Luigs, at working fast. We have a stat in banana ball. They call it minute per inning. So you, as a pitcher, you want to be somewhere under 2 minutes per
Whoa.
inning. We played a scrimmage game the other day. We played nine innings in an hour and 54 minutes, and our we had one inning longer than 5 or 6 minutes.
Wow.
Um, so it's an incredible pace of play. It gives baseball that juice to, the younger fans to keep your attention there and not have you in those 30-minute innings.
So would it be fair to kind of compare you guys to the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, or is that not accurate?
That is the most frequent comparison that we get, and it's obviously a great honor to be talked about with the Globetrotters because they changed the game of basketball. What Jesse talks about all the time with that is the only difference, or the big difference for us, is our show will never be the same. With the Globetrotters, while they did a great job, it kind of got very scripted,
Right.
and you were seeing the same thing. Um, when we go out there every night, our on-field dances are different. Every night, we're gonna have different kind of it, fan interaction where it's not the same promo, it's not the same fans involved. Obviously, going to different cities, we do a lot of things like run celebrations, and we have different run celebrations every night. So the goal for us is just to be the most entertaining show in sports, and for us, that's going to come with hopefully providing at each stop a different show every time, just because the game of baseball is so unique, and we just seem to have very incredible people who are good at mapping this stuff out ahead of time. Our director of entertainment, our marketing staff, our social media staff, they have countless meetings to prep so that for me as a player, when I show up on game day, we're going to have, a 30 or 40-minute meeting beforehand, and we kind of have all the ideas mapped out. It's a unique environment where a lot of the best ideas can come from the players. And some of them are going to come from the front office staff and what they're doing, but it's a open environment where we sit down and talk about, hey, what do you want to do tonight? What can we do to get the fans involved?
And did I see that you guys played in kilts one night, one game?
Yes, sir. So that was actually my first game I ever played in Savannah.
Wow.
We
Okay.
did we did like a preview opening night for some fans in Savannah. So we've had probably about 500 to 1,000 people there, VIPs, just like working through a practice show. And it's cold in February, and they want us to wear these kilts. And I'm like, man, I don't know. So I got the long johns on underneath, and the kilt's very freeing. I felt like I could run pretty well and move around. And as a baseball player, I had one of those shallow fly balls into the left field, like towards the line. I ended up making a diving play, and um, it was a really cool highlight to have on camera. It obviously looks funnier with the kilt
Oh,
flapping
sure.
as I'm running.
Yeah.
Um, but it's one of those things that just gets you outside of your comfort zone early. And once you kind of realize that, hey, like this is fun, like the fans really enjoy this stuff, it makes it a lot easier to continue to do it.
Well, and I saw you on YouTube, or one of the highlights. I saw you caught a ball laying on your back. Was that intentional? And like, do you do stuff like that just to make it more flair?
Yes. So there's a lot where call them wow moments. You want to have a trick play, or you want to make the ordinary unordinary some way or the other. It's tough sometimes with the game because if you lose the feel of a real baseball game, this is all gonna kind of go away. So you don't want to just be out there trying to go trick play after trick play after trick play and not landing them, because the game's going to take forever. Fans do want to see a good baseball game. So there's a good balance in trying to figure out when can I do a trick? When is it okay if I have to fail a trick? Like, is it a good situation where they can't score runs, and is the game moving along? So for fly balls, stuff like that, for me personally, because I'm an infielder, I'll try to catch it like behind my back. I'll lay down like that. I laid down, I think the other night on a ball that was probably hit. They call them elevator shaft home runs, straight up in the air, right? And it's just
Sure.
way up there. I ended up like kind of catching it as I was falling down. We have 10, 10 maybe more super talented outfielders that one guy, Doc Meadows on our team, can catch a fly ball while doing a backflip. Um, Breland Almondova for the Party Animals. He is the best I've seen in the outfield. He'll run 90, 100 feet and catch a ball backwards between his legs on the run. Um, it's just super, super cool to see a guy crush a ball in the gap, and you're like, oh, like that was a good swing. And then the guy's not even looking at it as he catches it as it's falling into his glove. Um, so yeah, it's definitely intentional. It's just trying to figure out when's the best moment for that, and how can I still make the play without messing that up.
So for most of the guys on either the Bananas or the Party Animals, is this like your last stop? Like, or do those guys hope to eventually get back into regular baseball?
So I would say that this is for, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think this is the coolest place you can be. If you're not a big leaguer and you're not making millions and millions and millions of dollars, um, there's not going to be a better place to have that impact that you want as a baseball player. I tell this story all the time. Even through college, I always answered every question of what are you going to be when you grow up? I was going to be a professional baseball player. And like for the longest time, I always thought that was the major leagues and all that. And the more I look back on those visions, I never really could see what jersey I had on. I could just see what the impact I wanted it to be, the full house, the kids coming up and signing autographs and like having that lasting impression. And now here in Savannah, our games are, the wait list is crazy. It's sold out. We
Wow.
have 4 million fans on TikTok where they're going to see what we do and they're going to see our highlights. My social media has grown because they encourage us to post and they encourage us to be ourselves and grow our brand. So for a lot of us, I think it's the biggest impact that we could have on the game of baseball. And there's not too many people that want to leave Banana Land whenever they get here. Like for me, I'll stay here as long as they'll keep me. And I don't really think that there's anything baseball wise that could get me out of here.
Well, that was my next question. How long do you intend to keep playing? Just as long as they have you, as long as the body holds up?
Yeah, so my story is when I got out, I played 3 years of indie ball out of college, and then right around 2020, COVID was coming, but at the same time, like the people I was playing with had basically let me know that they didn't want me back anymore. So I went into a full year of coaching youth baseball where I was not playing at all. And I was actually making TikToks. And that's how I got seen by Jesse and invited to tryouts. And so for me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this as long as I can. I'm playing a high level of baseball. I may be playing the best baseball I've ever played because I'm having fun and I'm not thinking about performance or my job because your job's not based around the fact if you go 0 for 2 or not. It's, did you create a fan first moment? Or are you here for the greater show or are you here for your own stuff? So, um, Jesse and Emily have big plans with this and they keep talking about wanting to kind of keep people together. You are more likely to come back if you know who the characters in the show are. So I think the show would work as you build out these personas. So yeah, hopefully I stick around for I don't know 5, 10 years, maybe coach whatever they want me to do. I'll stay in Banana Land as long as I can.
Awesome, man. Wow. It's quite that's an amazing story how they found you. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was so I they used to do the summer baseball, the Coastal Plains League baseball, and that's how Jesse and I met in 2017. He owned another team in Gastonia, and I had played for him that season. We won a championship. And then obviously I go back home or whatever, and the TikTok videos I was making, I was wearing that summer league shirt. And as my followings are getting up, like I had some videos do well early for me, a couple videos in the 100,000 views, and I think I got a couple like right around 1 million.
That's
But
big.
this is still yes, and there's like one or two videos that hit 1 million, and there was like two or three ground ball videos that were doing well. But still, starting out as a content creator, it was cool. And then I saw on Instagram Jesse had DM me in like I think it was October, November of 2021, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have these tryouts in February. We want to play this whole new game of baseball. Would love to have you." And I was like, "Yeah, great. Like, I want to play baseball, sure." And then so time goes by, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. It's coming into February, and we get all the tryout info sent out. I'm super nervous, so I rent a car from Pittsburgh. I drive down to tryouts in Savannah. We get down there. There's 100 people here. We have to dress in costume. It's 8:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock at night kind of deal, like all day long. You're dancing, you're TikToking, you're playing games. And I just remember how nervous I was. And I was kind of retired at that point. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I'm just a coach. And I'm looking at all these super, super talented ball players. We have a guy on the Party Animals that was drafted first round ahead of Jacob DeGrom in the same draft. That's the Scherzer Harper Machado draft.
Sure,
He was
yeah.
a top first round pick in that draft. So super nervous, but I had a decent day at tryouts. I didn't do anything memorable. I remember that. I hit a couple tricks in ground balls, but in the game, I didn't do anything crazy. Just a lot of energy trying to put myself out there. And I think that I put on a good fans first show, and they drafted us that day. I remember sitting in the bleachers and having to listen to our names be called. So they call our names. There's like 40 some guys they take for the two teams. Um, they break us up after into bananas and party animals. And at the time, the bananas and party animals were was a little different in the very beginning. The bananas were the big brand name, and the party animals were not so much at the start. And so you really wanted to be a banana at that time. And I got to be a banana, which was really awesome. I drive back to Pittsburgh, get another rental car, drive back down for a month and a half. We play like 2 months of games on the spring tour, and all of a sudden this thing just blows up. And the reason I mentioned the party animals thing before is that now, as we go into tour and last fall, the guys that have been party animals have become I don't want to say better than us, but they are just as good at the on-field show stuff. Their talent level is through the roof. I'm very excited for the fans to see the party animal team this year, because in the scrimmages that we've had so far, their celebrations, their antics, their gameplay has been better than us in the very beginning. So that's going to push our game level because we got to compete.
Sure.
But that was something before that there was not as much unity in the show. And now it's like, yeah, these guys get it. They know that they can be stars of the show too. And the fans are really going to see that there's two teams here that they can really fall in love with. Whether you want to be the bananas and the good guys, or you want to, everybody likes to root for the villain or the underdog, like the party animals. And they're going to win some games too.
Well, as I told you before we got on, I'm hoping to see you guys in Milwaukee. It's late in the season, September, but I encourage everyone to check you guys out. If they're coming in, if you guys are going anywhere near anybody, check you out, because I've seen you online and it's a lot of fun. That's why I wanted to get to know you guys. Before I let you go, is there anything that you want to promote online, any social media, anything like that?
You can follow me on Instagram if you want. My Instagram's underscore Ryan Cox 6. My TikTok is Ryan Cox underscore 6. A lot of bananas videos, some insights of the tour. If you want to check that out. Other than that, just come check out a show. Follow the Savannah Bananas online, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it may be. You don't have to be a biggest baseball fan to enjoy a good show.
Brian, appreciate your time, man, and I'll be following you all season. I hope to see you in September, and until then, good luck, my friend. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, anytime, John. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Have a good one.